Hello, and welcome to my video on how to clean your flame sensor. This is really a quick and easy process, something that's part of regular furnace maintenance, can prevent problems or be the cure to problems that may be happening with our furnace. As you can see here, I've already removed the upper panel of my furnace so I can access the burner assembly. I have also already confirmed that the electrical power to the unit is off so that I'm not harmed in any way while doing this. What we have here is a flame sensor, and I know you can't see it very well from there, and I'm going to bring it out to you. It's a little difficult to get the camera in here, but this wire here is going to lead me right up to my flame sensor and where it's mounted on my burner assembly. There's one screw holding that flame sensor into place, and what I have here is a 1/4 inch hex head nut driver. If you have a magnetic one, that'll only work to your benefit. We're going to loosen the screw on the flame sensor so that we can remove it from the mounting on the burner assembly. Now that the screw is loose, the flame sensor should slide out of the hole without too much effort. We don't want to tug on it and cause any damage to it. As you can see, it's come out for me fairly easy, and I can get my hands in there quite well. Better than the camera. You can see the flame sensor. This is typically what they look like. Some might be vertical, some may be bent more at a 45-degree angle. And if I can loosen this screw off here, I can show you about how big the screw is. Nothing fancy. And now that my flame sensor's out where I can work on it, I'm going to use a light grit sandpaper. You could also use emery cloth or steel wool. And I have plenty of room to work here, but if you need more slack, you could always remove this wire and put it back on when you're done. I'm just going to take my sandpaper and wrap it around the flame sensor here, rubbing gently back and forth. Not too hard. I'm not trying to take the paint off a car, just carbon buildup that we get on our flame sensor and can cause it to misread. Now that we've sanded off the flame sensor, we're going to use a clean, dry paper towel to wipe off any dust that might be left behind from the sanding. You could also use a cloth or whatever you have available. Just make sure it's clean and dry. Now, our flame sensor is free of any carbon buildup or dust or dirt that may have been on there. Now that we've wiped it down, we're going to go ahead and put the screw back into here so that it's easier to hold on to as we replace the flame sensor. And again, just gently slide it back into the burner assembly hole, making sure that it goes back the way we found it, in the flame stream, and seated flush against the assembly. I'm going to give the screw a couple turns here with my finger to hold it in place. And once I get it in there a little bit, get my nut driver back out and tighten it down the rest of the way. Don't want to over tighten it, just firm it up so it's not flopping around in there. And again, making sure it's seated flush. And now our flame sensor is clean and remounted. At this point, we can then return the door back into place on the top of the unit. Some may be easier than others, and turn the power back on to our furnace. Now if this was to try and figure out a problem with the furnace, you would turn the power back on and watch it burn until it satisfies the thermostat so that we know that we can be confident in our repair. Otherwise, if it was for typical maintenance, you can just flip your switch back on and know that you'll have prevented possible problems with your unit this winter. Have a good day.